Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something that secretly shapes every single workday you've ever had, even if you didn't realize it. We're talking about job design. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? One day, you're just staring at the clock, and every single minute feels like an hour. But then the next day, you're so into what you're doing, you look up and poof, the entire day is gone. Well, that feeling, that huge difference between a day that drags and a day that flies, that is not random. It's not a coincidence. It is absolutely by design. It's the result of how your job, your tasks were structured. And that gets us right to the core of this whole thing. See, at the heart of job design, there's this fundamental conflict, a dilemma that every manager, every company has to deal with. Think of it like a constant tug of war. On one side, you've got the machine, this relentless drive for things to be faster, cheaper, more efficient, with zero mistakes. And on the other side, you've got the mind, our very human need to feel motivated, to have a purpose, to feel like our work actually matters. And if a company gets that balance wrong, well, that's where you get burnout and quiet quitting. So if you're a leader, how do you navigate this? How do you solve this puzzle? Well, you've basically got four main tools in your toolbox, four levers that you can pull to design a job. These are the big four: simplification, rotation, enlargement, and enrichment. Let's break down what each one is and how it tries to solve that core machine versus mind problem. All right, first up, job simplification. This one is all about feeding the machine. The whole idea is to take a complex process and just smash it into tiny, repeatable, almost mindless steps. Now, the upside is huge. It's super fast to train people, you get very few mistakes, and the result is incredibly consistent. The downside? Yeah, it can get really, really boring. So, to fight that mind-numbing boredom, you can pull the next lever, job rotation. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You have employees move between different but still simple jobs. You see this all the time at places like Tim Hortons, right? A new person might work the counter, then the drive-thru, then the sandwich station. It helps reduce boredom, but it also makes the whole team way more flexible. Okay, next up is job enlargement. This is where you add more tasks to a person's role. But, and this is the key thing, they're all at the same level of difficulty. It's all about adding variety to the day, but it doesn't really give the employee any more power or authority. And that brings us to the last and maybe the most powerful lever, job enrichment. This is where we really start to focus on the mind. It's not about adding more tasks, it's about adding more depth. It's about giving people more control, more autonomy, more responsibility. This is the stuff that builds a true sense of ownership. And this is a really, really important distinction to get. Job enlargement is what we call horizontal loading. You're just piling on more work at the same level. But job enrichment is vertical loading. You're giving an employee more control and authority over the work they already do. One adds width, the other adds depth. Okay, so you've got these four levers. Why would a company choose one over the other? Well, it really boils down to two totally opposite philosophies about what actually makes people tick at work. On one side, you have this classic idea from F.W. Taylor called scientific management. This is basically the Bible for job simplification. It works on the assumption that people are mostly just motivated by a paycheck, and that the system, the process, is way more important than the individual person. Then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have the job characteristics model from Heckman and Oldham. This is the theory behind job enrichment. It argues that true, deep motivation comes from the work itself, from things like having variety, autonomy, and feeling like your work is significant. And if you want to understand the soul of scientific management, just listen to this quote from F.W. Taylor himself, way back in 1911. He said, "In the past, the man has been first. In the future, the system must be first." That single idea is basically the philosophical DNA for every assembly line and every hyper-efficient process we have today. Okay, so this is all a bit theoretical, right? Let's make it real. We're going to look at a tale of two factories, two massive, successful companies that could not be more different in how they approach this. All right, our first stop is in Canada. We're talking about Magna International, a giant in the auto parts world, and one of the biggest suppliers on the planet. Magna is just this incredible real-world example of job enrichment, especially for a manufacturing company. They have this decentralized culture they call fair enterprise. Each factory basically runs itself like an independent company. The workers aren't just workers. They're often shareholders who get a piece of the profits. They even have a company charter that gives them the power to go over their manager's head with concerns. That's real ownership. Okay, now let's flip the script completely and look at Company B, Foxconn. You might not know the name, but you absolutely know their work. They're the massive company that assembles the iPhone. Foxconn, this is Taylor's scientific management on steroids. It is job simplification pushed to its absolute logical extreme. We're talking about jobs broken down into movements that last just a few seconds. A worker's entire 10-hour day might just be polishing one tiny corner of a phone screen over and over again. The entire focus is on speed, scale, and zero mistakes. So here's the kicker, right? Both of these companies are wildly successful. They make a ton of money, but they win in totally different ways. Foxconn's model gives them an unbeatable edge in speed and volume, which is everything in consumer electronics. Magna's enrichment model gives them an edge in quality, innovation, and employee loyalty, which is crucial in the high-end auto parts industry. It's a strategic choice. So where is all this heading? What's next? Well, there's a new player entering the game that's probably going to change all the rules: artificial intelligence. And here's the big hypothesis people are talking about now. As AI and robots get crazy good at doing all that simple, repetitive, predictable stuff, the robot work, what's going to be left for us humans? Well, the theory is the only jobs left will be the ones that require creativity, critical thinking, and autonomy. The future of work might just be exclusively enriched work. Just think about that for a second. The whole Foxconn model of extreme simplification, that is exactly the kind of work that AI is designed to take over. So the skill of designing engaging, meaningful jobs might not be a nice-to-have for managers anymore. It might become an economic necessity for survival. What value can we bring that a machine can't? So to wrap this all up, let's bring it back to you. As you think about your career, where you are now, or where you want to go, which one of these designs matches what you're looking for? Are you looking for the straightforward consistency of simplification, the skill building of rotation, the variety of enlargement, or that deep, meaningful satisfaction of enrichment? Knowing the difference can help you find a job that doesn't just pay the bills, but actually feels right.